Oh, snap. Oh, hey, everyone. How are you doing? Sorry, I was out saving the world today, so I'm kind of tired. I forgot I was even in my suit, man. You know what? Let me take this off real quick and get comfortable, and then we're going to get into the show, all right, y'all? So just bear with me for a few minutes, all right? Thank you. Okay. Well, all right, everyone. You are back in here with the most requested YouTuber. All right, you know who it is, all right? My name is Nicholas J. Fury, here where reality checks are free. And once again, you back up in here with the most requested YouTuber, none other than the Working Man Podcast. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. Sorry for, earlier I was had my uniform on, my Iron Man suit, because I'm out saving the world, working like I do. Like all of you working ladies and gentlemen out there. Man, I forgot my computer at work yesterday too. My supercomputer I left at the office yesterday. I meant to go live, but man, I made a grave mistake. So I had to wait another day, but that gave me time to find some other content because I was going to go live yesterday about Corey Holcomb. Then this Umar Johnson stuff popped up and I was like, oh man, this is this is easy work. And then plus Inaprize Entertainment, and shout out to Inaprize Entertainment. Inaprize Entertainment, man, he came through with another tour of FDMG and boy. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, we're going to get into all of that. Umar Johnson was, of course, psychologizing and strategizing and philosophizing all of the ills of the black community, like I said before. And he also talks about FDMG, this occupancy of certificate. Again, shout out to Marianne Lawrence for that one. He comes through once again talking about the certificate of occupancy in the government of the city of Wilmington, Delaware. All right, so we're going to get to all of this wonderful stuff. Y'all see the A, all right? Recognize, roll tide. Okay. So we're going to get some housekeeping out of the way, of course. If you are new here, all right, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, and everyone, please hit the like button. We got 18,000 people in the box. We only got 9,000 likes. Please hit the like button, all right? And please participate in the poll here. As you can see, does Umar Johnson have a positive update for today? 0% said yes, 50% said no, and of course, 50% said Well, we're still looking for that S. Still looking for the S.
You're stupid.
We're still looking for that S, y'all. Okay, I don't think we're gonna find it, but I mean, we're gonna try. Okay. Also, by the way, if you would please subscribe, hit the channel membership, join the channel membership, Okay, hit that join button down below, or go to the main page of the channel. Hit that join button to become a member of the Union of Working Individuals here. Okay. Also, you can hit the super chat, you can hit the Cashapp. All right. All those things are down in the description box. And of course, the Stream Elements bot that's in the chat will pop it up at some point. So all y'all, please hit the Cashapp, hit the super chat, join the channel membership. And again, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And at the very least, hit the like button. Okay. So now that we got the housekeeping out of the way, of course, the reason for the season, as we always do, we got to give you all the reason for the season. So let me put all the other things down so I can read this off. We have to give the reason for the season, okay? Umar Johnson, this, of course, is January 6th of 2010. Promises in 2010 to begin laying the groundwork for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Pan-African School for Black Boys. All right? Douglass with 2 S's, by the way, okay? Specializing in learning disabilities and disruptive behavior disorders. This will be a private school, and yes, you will pay in order for your son to attend. Grand opening 9/11/2013. This is chess, of course, not checkers.
Enemy spotted.
Enemy spotted indeed. So we got that out the way, y'all, all right? Chess, not checkers, as we always say. But before we get into the content, we have another update from a man, Inaprize Entertainment. Let's go here. Let me switch up and get to Inaprize Entertainment. Here we go. Inaprize Entertainment. He says, where is the school at? Hold on, let me bring my camera back up. Square and the socials. Bam. Inaprize Entertainment is back on the road, back in the streets, in the trenches for y'all to show y'all about this school, okay? So let's see if he made any improvements thus far. This was like, as of, I think, how long ago was this? He did this? This was a little over 5, 6, 7 hours ago. So this is fresh, hot off the presses, all right? Let's check this out real quick, y'all.
Inaprize Entertainment. Different truck, different day, same result. Our lovable bag of trash. Hey, Umois, you probably gonna need somebody to come take care of this lawn, do this, cut this grass. Getting a little high. Look at that. That's gonna pass inspection though, right? Look like you put a brand new gate and lock on your doors. Oh, look, they done dropped a new bag of trash out there for you.
Oh, man, look at that. God damn. Oh, boy. Yeesh.
Same boarded up windows. As I was saying the other day, look at that. That's starting to crumble and deteriorate. All that back there. Sorry, Umois. The grift gonna come to an end sooner rather than later. People are starting to unite like the Avengers now. No copyright infringement. Inaprize Entertainment. We out.
And by the way, Fair used to Inaprize Entertainment, just so you know, and he came through with a $10 super chat. Where you at? Hold on.
I'm gracious, but I'm not content.
I'm not content, but
Donations.
Donations, indeed.
Donations.
Already, the first one coming through.
Donations.
He said, I spoke with this caster today. The the Umar Tardianism is real. I shared facts and video with him and told him my story as he asked. He called me obsessed with Umars and threatened blocking me. I blocked him. Well, I guess that guy was he still got that, he's still being psychologized by Umar Johnson, and
Enemy spotted.
he is an enemy of the people indeed. But it's okay. It's okay, right? I mean, Umar Johnson had the schools in 2019. I'm pretty sure people have driven through this area and see Umar on the side of the road, on the sidewalks, always on Instagram and Facebook talking about, hey, y'all, hey, welcome, hey, family, check this out. Okay, yeah. I'm sure he does it all the time. And this guy was like, oh, well, you must be obsessed. They don't get it, I understand. It's okay, man, it's okay. We gotta psychologize them. We gotta get the coon chip out of them too, all right? We gotta get that out of them guys. He comes back with another $5 super chat. Let me come back through. Where is it?
I better get some more and some more and some more and some more.
That's right. He says, I also spoke to a real contractor today on my route. Been in Newcastle system for 30 years. You need 3 major inspections before you get to the certificate stage. Hashtag lies. Lies. I need another sound effect. Where is it? Wait a minute. You know what?
You don't find that suspicious?
I do find that suspicious.
You don't find that suspicious?
By the way, salute to XL Pro Services also in the building. Thank you for being here, good brother. So, you need 3. He said you need 3. I'm sorry, he's been 30 years and you need 3 major inspections before you get to the certificate stage. I believe that. And how many, Umar Johnson's talking about this guy doing a pre-inspection to come do his stuff. But you even haven't even had 3, actually good inspections before you get the certificate, right? I'm pretty sure they got to inspect all kind of different stuff in that damn school before you can get to the certificate. This guy ain't gonna never get a certificate of occupancy. But of course, he blames from that last live stream he did with Baba David, he blames the Jamaican African, right? He blaming this guy for the reason he can't get a certificate of occupancy. I mean, how hard really is it, Umar Johnson? Let's watch this one more time because he's even got, see the shadow of the Moyer Academy right there where the sign was at? You see the two-tone paint on the side? The bushes are still overgrown. Let's watch this video for Inaprize Entertainment one more time to get the full gravity of the lack of renovation on the school. Let's do it one more time. Now I hate when it does this. Wait a minute. There we go.
Different truck, different day.
Different day.
Same result.
Same shit.
Lovable bag of trash. Hey, Umois, you probably gonna need somebody to come out.
Look at this. We still got the mirror. But now let me go back to it.
Hey, Umois,
the grass growing up in front of the mirror.
Probably gonna need somebody.
Look at that big ass bush right there in front of the mirror. We're gonna cut that. It probably need to be cut down. It's probably overgrown weeds or something right there. It need to be cut down. Look at that. Messing up our good mural.
Come take care of this lawn, do this, cut this grass.
She's getting summertime in Wilmington over there. It's getting warm. The trees are starting to grow out. The grass is starting to get high. These trees still need some trimming.
Getting a little high.
You see that? That's not a bush. That is overgrown, probably grass or some kind of tree come out the side or the wall. That's not supposed to be there. Look, it's all over on the side of the sidewalk right there. Look at that.
Look at that. That's gonna pass inspection though, right?
But hey, y'all, you know what? Guess what, y'all? We still got them damn new doors though, right? We still got the new doors. Oh, hey, man. We can always unlock that door with a peephole, right? And we can bask in the glow of the inside of the school with, the one room with the one desk, the one room of desk in there, and the still missing ceiling tiles and shit. You know what I mean? Look at that tree. Then he's cutting back. Probably shouldn't even be there. Look at that. It probably just cut that thing on down. Look at that. We got grass coming out of the cracks of the sidewalk here. I don't know what this white stuff is right here. Hopefully Umar went out here, doing some activities out here and left it on the ground. I mean, look at this. You got a gate right here. We can just hop right over that. I mean, little young man takes one hop and he's at the door. I mean, why'd he even put that there? That's not going to stop anybody. I mean, it's purely for show.
Look like you put a brand new gate in lock.
Look at that. Look at that. We got more grass coming out. We got a bag of trash on the inside and the outside. The tree is overgrown, touching the building. I mean, come on.
Lock on your doors.
Why do we have a gate here? This is like a freaking doggy gate. This ain't even big. What are we going to do with this? Huh? This, again, this is not going to stop an intruder from coming and stealing your stuff and breaking in. Again, one good hop and we over. That's not going to stop anybody. It's purely a speed bump for a thief.
Oh, look, they done dropped a new bag of trash out there for you.
So we got a bag of trash that was on the inside when Inaprize Entertainment did a video about a week or two ago. And now we got a fresh bag on the sidewalk right here. And ain't no telling what the hell is in it.
Same boarded up windows.
Same boarded up windows.
As I was saying the other day, look at that. That's starting to crumble and deteriorate. All that back there. Sorry, Umois. The grift gonna come to an end sooner rather than later. People are starting to unite like the Avengers now. No copyright infringement. Inaprize Entertainment. We out.
Inaprize Entertainment showed y'all what's happening out here in this school. All right? This is nasty work. By the way, Mickish 5664 said it's clear that it's going to take more than polished desks to fix these issues. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. By the way, you get the
Donations.
Thank you.
Donations.
$4.99 super chat.
Donations. I'm gracious, but I'm not
Donations.
content.
Now, last week, y'all saw when he was polishing these desks with his oil-based cleaner, right? Went and polishing these desks like 20, 30, 40 freaking times. Okay? I mean, okay, so we got desks, we got fences, we still got overgrown, stuff going on outside, paint still, we still got old Moore Academy signage up, all that kind of good stuff. We still don't know what's going on the other side of the school. They got broken into allegedly. He said he's going to get cameras out there to see who broke in. We know that never happened, right? And so that brings us to the video in question. This here, let me back up a little bit. This here was
a building inspector.
Oh, let me go back. Too close, too early. This is from the Chopped by T podcast. The title says Dr. Umar Johnson on Black politics, relationships, religion, and power. Now, of course, this video is an hour and 18 minutes. I'm going to put it on 1.5 speed so that we can kind of get through a little bit quicker. And after we get to the FDMG part, y'all can let me know in the chat if y'all want to keep going and see what else he has to say, right? But about halfway through, he's going to get to the FDMG part. We got to sift through all the other stuff to get to it. All right, so fair use to Chop by T podcast, okay? And if y'all in here, of course, please make sure you hit the like button. All right, let's check the poll real quick. Let's see what we got in the poll. We got 25,000 votes. Does Umar Johnson have a positive update today? 0% said yes, 64% said no, and 36% said we are still looking for the letter S.
Enemy spotted.
I don't think we're going to find it in this episode, this live stream, but maybe we will. I don't know. Maybe we will. Oh, hold on a second. Inaprize Entertainment has spun the block a third time. Sheesh. He also said permits and applications are public record despite what Umoist thinks. Hey, donors, you check on his ass. Hashtag vet the griff. Well, let me hit you one more time there, brother. Wait a minute. You know what? This is what you get today. You done came back 3 times. You get the money machine, all right? Inaprize Entertainment is spun the block to y'all one more time. Everything, permits and applications are public records. So y'all can look this up in the city of Wilmington, Delaware, okay? Like he said, if y'all want to know anything that's going on, KKC does it all the time. Just find the website, look it up. Boom, there it is, okay? So you ain't got to, if you want your own information to see what's going on, please do it, okay? Oh, by the way, of course, hit the Cashapp, hit the super chat. Everybody else in here, I know Inaprize and Mickish ain't the only one that got love for you, boy. Hit the channel membership. Please hit the channel membership. Hit the channel membership. All right, E5 Tunde 3 times. And let's understand, overstand, and understand what Umar Johnson got to say about the Chop Tea podcast today. Let's roll. Again, fair use to the Chop Tea podcast. All right, let me put my fair use banner up, as I always do, to make sure we speed it up and we, what they say, transform the video, all that kind of good stuff. Let's get to it.
By T Podcast, Tennessee. Dr. Umar's in the building. One love. Shout out to all my FDMG donors. Shout out to all my ride or die E5 Tunde acts.
Yes, sir. The legend himself. Listen, first and foremost, before we even get into the show, my questions or anything, I want to tell you, I want to say thank you. Not just for coming on the show, but honestly, I'll say this in my honest opinion, you changed the course of my son's life. And
praise God.
I explained to you how you done that. He's 7 years old now. He's in the first grade.
Yes, sir.
When he was in kindergarten, I started noticing the teachers, they would do these things right where it was red.
By the way, I want to make this for record, everyone is watching. This is the first time I have ever seen anyone give personal thanks and recognition to Dr. Umar Johnson for helping save or help their child. So one time. The first time I've ever heard anyone give Umar Johnson credit for saving their black boy. Okay? But that's only one time. Umar, I want you to know if you watch this, you need more people, okay? This is one time, and this could have been rehearsed. I don't know this brother from a can of paint. What I'm going to tell you is I think that this one person that has given him credit does not in any way reflect anything that Umar Johnson has done for the black community as a whole, okay? So if you're watching this on the playback, you're in the live chat right now, this is my perspective. One person does not amplify, is not emblematic of the black community that Umar Johnson is claiming he has saved over the years. All right, let's continue.
Flags. And the only reason I was able to identify these red flags is because of the education that you gave me.
Yes, sir.
In my time of studying you, it would be things like intervention or he can't be still in class, these types of things, right? And I started noticing these things, and I noticed the red flags, but also because of you, I had the right language for it. I was able to communicate like, oh, this should be this, and I asked for these meetings and things like that. So you ultimately changed the course of his life, honestly, because without you, I wouldn't have known these things.
God bless. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. And as we said before we started taping, since I've never spoken in Murfreesboro, I want you to find a space where I can come and do a free Black Parent Know Your School Rights seminar for free.
Absolutely.
So check with the churches.
Okay, y'all, hold up. Now, as Umar Johnson always does, giving out orders to people that he's around, and they're allowing it, all right? You see here, you just told us, man, I want you to find me a place where I can hold XYZ seminar, podcast, know your rights, whatever the F, right? And he's like, oh yeah, man, sure, I'm gonna make sure I get right on that. Why do you have to find a space? See, if Umar Johnson, as he said, he's the most requested scholar, people would be lining up to invite him in to do these things. But what does he do? Hey, y'all find me a spot so I can come speak. And because they're psychologized by Umar Johnson, they say, you know what? Okay, sir, yeah, no problem. We're gonna find a space and we're going to freaking pay you to come in, put you up in a hotel. Shout out to Marianne Lawrence. We're going to put him up in a hotel. We're going to pay for his food, his transportation, and let you do the lecture or the class or whatever for free. So he gets the notoriety, he gets the money, and he gets to take a free vacation basically on X person's dime, right? Amazing. Let me run that back just a little bit so y'all can hear that one more again.
As we said before we started taping, since I've never spoken in Murfreesboro, I want you to find a space where I can come and do a free Black Parent Know Your School Rights seminar for free.
Absolutely.
So check with the churches. If there's any Black event centers, We probably could do a community center, but you got to be careful with them because you don't want the haters to start calling up there trying to get it canceled because they do that a lot. Those are YouTubian struggle streamers. They can be something else. But
here we go. He talking about YouTubian struggle streamers.
Enemy spotted.
Here we go. They might call and get it shut down, which, to be fair, that has happened before. All right. So I don't know about that. I've never engaged in any type of activity like that, but there are people that have called up there and said, hey, Umar, did this or said this. Do y'all agree with this? And no, and eventually he got shut down or he got pulled from whatever event. Okay. It happens. Yes. But there's other times where people have, he's been invited places. Or matter of fact, remember that one time he was on Lord Jamar. And after that podcast, he was supposed to speak because the whole friction they had with Lord Jamar said, I'm gonna call so-and-so, man. I don't think you need to, we ain't gonna have you up there. Or maybe remember he got on that, he was on that radio show and that one, he was talking to his brother sideways and the guy was like, you know what? I don't think we want you to speak at our little event because you talking so bad about blah, blah. You're supposed to be with Unity and you talking all this mess. Remember that happened? Here we go. Inaprize Entertainment's back. He done spun the block once again. Let me get the cash register up. Does anybody else have love for your boy, the Working Man Podcast, besides Inaprize Entertainment? Because he dropping his wallet up in here today, damn near. Huh? Don't be fooled. I checked dude on that claim and told him to send his kid to be taught by Umar, and that's when he threatened to, wait a minute, hold on, what? Don't be fooled. I checked dude on that claim and told him to send his kid to be to be taught by Umar, and that's when he threatened to block me instead of defend. Oh my God. Damn.
You're stupid.
Okay, well, hey man, you know what? Well, I mean, hey man, why don't you go to his school? Why don't you send your kid to his school? Oh, really? Okay, all right. Hey man. Hey. Try to give him the real. He ain't want to listen, man. Hey, he lost in the sauce right now. It's hey, I'm sorry for the brother. I mean, maybe one day he'll be able to go to Umar's school. I mean, yeah, you never know. I mean, you never know. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. We will see. Okay. But yeah. By the way, again, y'all hit the super chat. Join the channel membership down below. Join channel membership. Join channel membership. Does Umar have a positive update? Let's check the poll. 3% said yes. Okay, all right. 64% said no, and 33% said we're still looking for the S. Okay, 3% said we might have a positive update. Okay, well, I mean, let's see. It could be. Again, thank y'all for participating in the poll. Thank y'all for being in the live chat and participating and talking and chopping it up. Again, if you want to donate monetarily, there's 3 ways to do it: Cash App, Super Chat, channel membership. Fair use to Chop T Podcast. Let's continue.
I'm coming to Murfreesboro. I'm just going to say that. So y'all get ready. My first time speaking in Murfreesboro. I'm looking forward to it. I've been to Memphis plenty of times, Nashville a couple times, Knoxville a couple times, Chattanooga a couple times. I never spoke in Murfreesboro.
Absolutely. And I would love to have you here, and I love to host it as
Yes,
well.
sir.
So I'll definitely get that in order
Yes,
for you. But speaking of education, you said something interesting that I seen on one of your podcasts or one of the interviews you had where you talked about the Rockefellers
Yes.
and the Board of Education.
Yes.
Why would somebody that's interested in oil even be considering education or involve themselves in
Great
education?
question. The reason the Rockefeller family got involved in education is to protect their financial interests. Now, some people would say, why does controlling public education have anything to do with a corporate empire?
Right.
It's because I want my corporate empire to last for generations. I want my grandchildren's grandchildren to be able to eat off of Standard Oil, which is Rockefeller's foundational company, right? In order for my grandchildren's grandchildren to eat off Standard Oil, we can't have any competition. And if we teach America's public school children about the oil business, that's going to generate competition because wherever there's education, there's interest. You're going to start getting students coming up with ideas as to what they can do in the oil industry.
Right.
And the next thing you know, not only are they competing with you in the oil industry, they're innovating in the oil industry. So to make sure we can protect our corporate dynasty, the Rockefeller brand and the Rockefeller pocketbook, we're going to create our own Rockefeller General Board of Education.
Okay.
And we're going to use.
Okay, so now he's getting into all the conspiracy theories of our now current, or the beginnings of our current educational system, aka the Board of Education, which I don't know if that's even still a thing now, this current administration. But anyway, Now he's getting into the conspiracy theories of how the educational system is keeping people dumbed down, and they're only selecting certain people to be at higher levels of education, and thus the world, or especially the United States of America. And the other people will just be normies and cogs in the wheel of society. Okay, that's what he's talking about right now.
Use this General Board of Education to finance school districts, personnel on school boards, textbook publishing companies, to make sure none of the curricular subjects or content involves investing in oil. And so the Rockefellers went around financing education, but making sure that education stayed away from anything that had to do with international investing.
And that's crazy because I actually heard this from you for the first time, that Spelman College is actually named after Rockefeller's wife.
Yes, Spelman College began, if memory serves me correctly, as an all-black female institution. It was all black, but they were struggling financially, and Rockefeller came along. And I don't know if the all-black female school decided to name it after his wife because of the size of the financial donation, or if that was a requirement in order to receive his funds. So yes, Spelman is named.
Now, for those of you in the chat that might not be aware of this, yes, which school is he talking about?
The Rockefeller's wife.
I want to ask you.
Hold on, wait a second.
You actually just made me think of something. Why are economics not taught in school?
Or if that was a requirement in order to receive his funds. So yes, Spelman is named after.
Okay, Spelman College is named after Rockefeller's wife, who is white. Okay, now for most of you, or for some of you that do your research, this is not new information. Okay, there's actually several HBCUs that are named after white people, and for some it was after, or maybe for many of them, it was because they made a large, sizable donation during the early beginnings of their inception, I guess, or their what do I call it? Their beginnings. Okay, so Howard University is named after Glenn Oliver Howard, a white Union officer and commissioner of the Freedmen's Bureau, who assisted in the university's founding. Stillman College in Alabama, named after Reverend Charles A. Stillman, a white Southern Presbyterian minister who sought to train black ministers. Tougaloo College, Mississippi. While not named directly after a person in the same manner, it was founded on a former plantation with the aid of the American Missionary Association. All right. There are actually several HBCUs named after white people. Fisk University, Rusk College, Wiley College. These are HBCUs that are named after white people. All right. Because these white people made some type of sacrifice or some type of donation, or they did something for black people in that area or during that time, and so they made an HBCU named after them. Okay, so just so y'all know, little history lesson for y'all there.
Rockefeller's wife.
I want to ask you, because you actually just made me think of something. Why are economics not taught in school?
To keep the people dumb. The purpose of public education is to make sure you have a better educated, low-wage earner.
Okay.
The purpose of public education is to make sure you can go into the factory, I can go in the factory, read, write, and count. That's it. A better educated, low-wage earner. And it was actually a compromise between the government and corporate America, because what corporate America was saying was, we want to keep our corporations in America. But you have to bring us people who can at least read, write, and count.
Right.
If they can't do that, they're going to cost us too much collateral damage training and teaching them how to operate.
Right.
We need them to come into work already knowing how to read, write, and count. And that was the birth of public education.
If you're listening right now or watching right now, then it means you're amazing. And because you're amazing, I want to give you my phone number. You heard it right. I want to give you my phone number. So pull out your phone and I'll give you some time. Pull out your phone.
All right. So y'all heard that, right? I got speed past
Here's
this.
My
okay.
Number. My number is 62.
But he's saying that essentially the public school system is really to keep people deaf, dumb, and blind, as they say. Now, if you believe that, that's fine, okay? The fact of the matter is the public school system gives everyone a basic education. Now, if you want higher education, there's AP classes, there's private schools, of course. There's tutors, there's other ways where even if you're in public school, you can still get a quality education outside of the public school system, right? You don't have to go to a private school just to get, a quality education, or if you want a higher education other than the public school system, there's other ways you can do it. I mean, if you want to say public school is basic, I wouldn't disagree with that. However, at this point, is it a mechanism to keep black folks down? I don't think so. If that case, at this point, it keeps everybody down because, I mean, look at the society and the economy now. You see what I mean? Like, everybody's down at this point, right? So it ain't just black folks, even though racism, slavery, all those kind of things, yes, they're factors. However, we all down bad today.
267-7446. Now let's get back to the show.
By the way, it was brought to my attention earlier that this young man right here putting his phone number on, making it public for people to call in and give their stories and things like that. It is emblematic of Umar Johnson using his phone number that he's had for years now to have people give donations and call him for scheduling things, stuff like that. All right, 215-989-9858 is burnt into everybody's brain by now because he says it a million times. He says everything 3 times. Ifa Tunde 3 times, so you know it. The PayPal, the Cashapp, the Snow Bunnies forever. Okay, he says all this stuff 3 times, and it's etched into our brain, even though we don't want it to be. It's always there. Understand, overstand, and understand all that. Let's continue. Fair Use This Chop Tea podcast.
Thank you.
Thomas Jefferson, slave owner, pedophile. Okay. He was one of the first of the so-called founding American fathers to give credence to the idea of a general board of education or a general public education system. The churches were actually the builders of the first schools. If you study public education in America, education was born in the church because the first school was Bible school. Right. So whether it was the black church or the white church, we got our education through religion. Mm-hmm. And then the government caught on because the corporation said, okay, the religions is all fine and good, and they teaching them how to read so they can study the Bible, but they're not doing a good enough job teaching them how to count and write. You see that? So the government said, and plus not everybody is religious, and not everybody belongs to every religion. So religion was not broad enough to provide for the academic needs of America's uneducated white children. That's when the government stepped in and said,
let's check out this statistic real quick. Thank you for bringing this up. Approximately 21% of U.S. adults, roughly 43 million people, are functionally illiterate or have low literacy skills in 2024, 2025. That is a very, very unfortunate statistic there. It's another one. 54% of U.S. adults possess ADHD moment. 54% of U.S. adults possess literacy skills below a 6th grade level. 54%. God almighty, that's a lot. Well, I don't want to say, I'm going to just say this right here. Again, public city school systems, right? And in certain urban areas, they're worse than others, okay? I got to admit that. What I would say is, again, most people cannot afford to take their child to a private school or a school where the literacy rates or they have the schools are higher rated, better areas. So I would say, like I said, people can maybe tutor their children at home or get some kind of tutor or something outside of regular school hours where children can somehow better themselves to get some kind of tutors or whatever. I mean, everybody can afford that, unfortunately. What I would say is to instill in children that not just school, but just knowledge in general is key in their life, especially for young black kids. I would say that is definitely necessary. Inaprize Entertainment has spun the block one more again. Where McGee, the money counter, where is it? The very number he blipped me from. Clown, yes. The $2 super chat from Inaprize Entertainment. Thank you very much, my brother. Man, oh man, oh man. Damn, Inaprize Entertainment, man. Those numbers are saddening. I agree. Yes, they are. Donations forever, employment never. You're damn right. Because he ain't gonna never have a school to employ the people in his neighborhood, which is unfortunate. Okay, let's get back to Umar.
we have to do this, and we have to do this for a couple reasons. Not only do the corporations need a better educated low-wage earner, we need to be able to screen who the future leaders of America will be. So public education.
By the way, check this out. I've seen a lot of stories nowadays where teachers are passing students through school. And to be fair, I think some of these children they might be, some of these teachers are pushing children through school that they're problem children, but they don't want to fail them. Or maybe they're trying to do this out of spite, so they're passing them through on purpose, and then they get to the end, and then they become illiterate, they can't read or they can't do math well at the end. And it's kind of like an F you to the student. I think that's what they're doing. Because I've seen a lot of times where these teachers, I think in Detroit one time, this lady, her child graduated and she found out he couldn't read. Or I think one kid was in the 12th grade and he got detained all the way back to the 9th grade because he was so bad, or, he couldn't read and all that. I'm like, how does this kind of stuff happen, man, where these kids just get pushed to the wayside? The only thing I can think of, either they're a bad kid and so they got passed up so that teacher wouldn't have to deal with them again in the same grade, or, I don't know what's the other way to think about it, because I've seen ones and twos in the news where stuff like this happens, they just get passed through. It's quite sad.
They became the source of new elites. It was the source, because your company cannot survive unless you got fresh minds, right? So as the white elites age, who's going to replace a Thomas Jefferson? Who's going to replace an Alexander Hamilton, a Benjamin Franklin, right? Who's going to replace a Donald Trump, a Barack Obama, a Joe Biden, a Bill Clinton, so forth and so on. So public education is the place where intellectual minds are found and then sent to the elites to be trained. Wow. Whether that's Wall Street, whether that's government, whether that's the Bilderbergs, the Rockefellers, the CFR, you find the best black and white minds and you send them out. To give you an example, and this is no disrespect to Howard University, because I love all of our HBCUs, and I believe my ancestor Frederick Douglass, who's my 4 times great-grand cousin, he was once a trustee at Howard University, if memory serves me correctly. But to give you an example of what I'm speaking to here, Howard University, which is the mecca of HBCUs, it is the #1 recruiting ground for the FBI.
Oh, wow.
More black FBI agents come from Howard University and HBCU than any other school in America, black or white. Okay. So when I tell you education is the place where they find the new faces, that's exactly what it is.
Why is that? I wonder. Why would that be a source?
There's no other better way of recruiting raw, new, unsigned talent. Because think about it. Everybody doesn't have to go into the military.
Right.
Everybody don't go to church. But if we make public education compulsory, we're going to make you go to school. Every state has a law that you must attend school unless you're being homeschooled, right?
Right.
So we're going to make it compulsory so every child goes to public education, and the best minds are automatically sent to us. And with Rockefeller, with their General Board of Education, they actually had a head start on this because we're funding the schools. So if they find any great minds, black or white, they can pull them in. They're going to send them to us. Yep. And that's how that started. And then that kind of dovetailed off into the black Masonics and the white Masonics, the Divine Nine as well, because all these secret societies started becoming a pipeline to the power structure. Now, we know the Divine Nine was created to give our people an alternative, right? And they were also founded to almost be like a secret society that would advocate for.
Hold up. We got another super chat, y'all. KK008, thank you for the super chat.
Donations.
Says, former public middle school teacher here. We were told we could not fail students, even those with bad attendance and straight Fs. Ugh. Social promotion is a thing that teachers cannot control. I appreciate you bringing that to the forefront. Social promotion is a thing that teachers cannot control. No child left behind. Okay. Well, I gotta say, even those with bad attendance and straight Fs. Wow. Huh. You know what? Quick story. When I was in the 7th grade, things were happening to me in school that I was like, I had a hard time, going through school, and I failed the 7th grade, by the way. I completely, when I say I failed it, I made straight Fs that year myself. I actually know I was in the I was in the 6th grade, and no, 7th grade, and I got left behind because my grades were crappy, right? And actually, I would have got failed again in the 8th grade, but I was able to kind of pull through at the end. But yeah, man, you cannot fail students. And eventually, if you fail too far, they put you in alternative school, they just kick you out, and you just gotta go to another district. So that kind of sucks too. Social promotion is not a thing that teachers cannot. Social promotion is a thing that teachers cannot control. Well, I agree with you on that. And I appreciate you bringing that to the forefront there, KK. I appreciate that.
Black excellence and Black empowerment.
Yes.
But as you can see, through the generations, some of our Divine Nine, the chapters, have lost their focus, where we're really not using the Divine Nine as much as we used to find and to foment and to push Black excellence. I think we have to get back to some of the foundational reasons as to why those great ancestors built those great fraternities and sororities.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I've personally, by me being a Sigma, I've seen some of because I have brothers who are Masons as well.
Yes,
so
sir.
I've seen like mirror of different things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the challenge of the Black Masonics, and I don't have an issue with the Black Masons because many of my Pan-Africanist forefathers were Black Masons. Major Dr. Martin Robinson Delaney from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, where I actually went to high school. That's where he spent his childhood after his mother had to run away from Charlestown, West Virginia. They were going to try to unalive them for teaching the children how to read.
Oh, wow.
So they had to come from West Virginia to Chambersburg to live. And he was the first Black officer commissioned by Abraham Lincoln himself in the Civil War. He was one of the first Black newspaper publishers. He co-published the North Star with the Honorable Frederick Douglass. He was one of the first Black men to be nominated by a major party at that time to run for vice president of the United States.
And this leads credence to Umar Johnson's school too. Like, you know what? Say somebody comes to his school and they're not, up to par, as far as their education, right? What is he gonna do? Is he gonna hold them back in the 1st grade, the 2nd grade, or the 5th grade, whatever? I mean, how would he handle that? Would he just push them to the next grade and just kind of catch them up? How would he do that? Huh? Because he's not part of the school system, by the way, right? He's an independent school. So how would he rehabilitate this child to be able to catch up with their educational skills if this happened to him? I wonder. And by the way, now he's talking about, the Masons, the Black Masons and things like that. I will show y'all some light, but that's another story, by the way. Well, I won't get into that right now. But Blue House, we in there. But anyway, now he's talking about how the Masons had a hand in, some of the development and some of the elites of the Black community. Okay, that's what he's talking about. Now, let's get into that. By the way, fair use to Chop by T podcast. And let's check in on a poll. Does Umar Johnson has a positive update? 7% said yes. Okay. 68% said no, and 25% said we're still looking for the letter S. All right. Get your votes in if you will, please. Oh, hold on now. Hold on now. But anyway, we ain't gonna get into that right now. But anyway, please continue to vote in the poll. Join the channel membership. Hit the cash, hit the super chat. And once again, shout out to Inaprize Entertainment because he's been dropping dollars in here since we got started. Somebody who else got love for your boy here besides Mickish and Inaprize Entertainment? Show your love. Let's continue.
States. What else? He was an inventor. He was one of the first Africans to go to Africa to get land to take African people back because he never felt we would be treated as equal in his country. And clearly his prophecy has been correct. But he was a Mason. Right. He was a Mason. And again, back then, we used our secret societies to build Black excellence beyond the supervision of the white power structure. We got to get back to that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And okay, so if we know that these institutions were created as a way of basically just outsourcing and getting Black people, personally, what's the point in even getting education? Because I know you're very educated. I myself, I have an MBA. So what's the purpose in even getting an education in America?
If your education is not for the weaponization of your knowledge, skill set, and credential for the benefit of African people, then your education is automatically by default weaponized against your people. Gotcha. There is no neutral. One of the things we have to get away from in Black America is this idea that I'm neutral on a topic. I'll give you an example, and I know we'll get to this later, so I don't want to get off topic. The snow bunny crisis. You'll get some Black people who will say, I'm neutral. People can date who they want. I'm not going to be against you if you date black on black. I'm not going to be against you if you date black on pink, right?
Right.
You can't be neutral. Because if we continue to keep on making babies with non-African women, there will not be enough American Africans left in this country to fight for reparations, fight for justice, run the HBCUs, run the black community organizations, or anything else. Okay, in 25 years, if we keep on with this self-hating interracial dating we're doing, most black people in America will be mixed race, and they will not primarily identify as black. You see that?
I see it.
So what's going to happen when we get there? The government is going to change the definition of black. The government is going to say, for now on, because right now they give you a choice. Right now they say you can say mixed race or you can say I identify as black. Right now is what do you identify as? That's the hook. Once most of us are mixed race who don't identify as black, the government is going to say, okay, we've decided it's time for us to redefine blackness. Blackness is now a person with two black parents. If you don't have a black mother and a black father, you're not black.
Right.
You're automatically biracial and mixed race. In other words, there will no longer be a preference for how you identify. The government is going to stamp you. And once they say the only way you're allowed to call yourself black is if you have two black parents, that's going to eliminate the word black from the U.S. Census.
Wow.
There will be no more.
Now, I have no idea what the hell Umar is talking about right now. The census and how they're going to somehow erase black people from the existence by some type of, alternate distinction from black and white and two black parents and being mixed race and all that kind of stuff and the snow bunny Christ and all of that. Wait a minute, what the hell is going on here? I missed the doggone. Oh, we got a new subscriber. Thank you to whoever. Thank you kindly to whoever that was. Who does it matter what he said when the school never actually? Yeah. But yeah. Right now, he's talking about the race, and how they're going to somehow the white power structure is going to erase the black race from existence by having alternate distinctions, white, black, and biracial, all these kind of things. I mean, yeah.
For black people, even if we still actually exist on paper, you will be invisible.
Gotcha.
This is not the first time this has been done. Okay. It was done in Cuba. It was done in the Dominican Republic. It was done in Puerto Rico. It was done in a lot of the Latin American countries after slavery. The society was so black because remember, we outnumbered white people in many colonies.
Right.
In South Carolina, Mississippi, there were several colonies where there was more of us than them. A big reason why you had abolitionism, a big reason why white people organized to stop slavery wasn't because they cared about how you were being treated. We were overwhelming them with our numbers. And since most white people were not slave owners, they resented the fact that I'm living in a town, city, county that's predominantly black. You see that? So abolitionism was about slowing down our numbers more than it was about you being free. And it definitely wasn't about you being equal, because you can't show me a single abolitionist white who ever fought for black equality. Gotcha. You can't show me one.
Gotcha.
So getting back to my point, what they did in these Latin American countries is after we lightened ourselves up enough, with the white man knowing we were only doing this because we wanted access to whiteness, right? And we hated who we were.
Right.
The government said we can kill off black real quick. Now, since y'all so light, we're going to give you the privilege of not even having to call yourself biracial no more. We're going to let you call yourself white. And so once black people got white enough, right? They let them start identifying as white to eliminate the need to address any black issues. And even though I'm going to let you identify as white, I'm still going to treat you black.
Yep.
You follow me? Yep. But because you changed your identity, you killed your existence on paper. That's exactly what they're doing to black America right now. History always repeats itself. And those who don't know it become slaves to it.
And as you say this, I'm thinking to myself, it's even being programmed in the commercials. We see these cartoons. We
the
see
movies, all media. How do we go from the Cosby Show, all black, right? The Jeffersons, well, you did have Bunny hopping in the Jeffersons. In fact, the Jeffersons was the first miniseries sitcom in American history where you had a mainstay interracial couple. So they.
Now, I do remember that interracial couple that's I believe it was a black one with a white man. Wasn't that was a snow puppy. A snow puppy.
Nick, you're stupid.
Yeah, that was a snow puppy, if I'm not mistaken. And by the way, I think that this guy, this interviewer here, I don't think he's being scammed by Umar Johnson. I think, these guys, a lot of these pro-black people, they're all kind of on a certain consciousness, right? Even like Marianne, even though she got done wrong by Umar, she still has that little bit of, red, black, and green in her. So, Umar's not fully, and Umar's not a full outcast in the red, black, and green community either. You know what I mean? So they still hold him in high regard as far as, being a scholar in the red, black, and green community. So, I mean, I don't think this guy's getting scammed. I think he would love to be in Umar Johnson's shoes right about now. That's what I think.
They started to push it slightly. But after Barack Obama would become president, they ramped it up because now we have a mixed race president. So he's making it real popular to have a white parent. You see?
Right.
And that's why right around Barack Obama's presidency, he ran for office in 08, he took office in 09. And it was either in the 2000 census, right?
Good one.
8 years before his campaign.
Good
Or
one.
the 2010 census, the year after he took office, that's when they added biracial and multiracial. All of this was planned.
Wow.
All of this was planned. If we're going to change the color of Black America, we need a face Black people love and respect so it does not look as unacceptable as it used to. Remember, once upon a time, you better not come home with a white girl.
Right.
Once upon a time, you better not come home with a white girl. But Barack Obama made it acceptable to be mixed race.
Yep.
And so behind Obamaism, they came with this whole agenda. Now let's oversaturate
I
the
need
media
like 100
with
more.
the image of interracial Black-white couples. Notice,
No, I actually need like 100 more to get 5K. So everybody, we got 79,000 people in the chat. All right, if you haven't subscribed already, if y'all subscribe, we might actually be able to push that on through there. All right, so if you haven't subscribed already, you need to Ninja watching. Yo, hey, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Hit the like button, y'all, for everybody that's in here already. But hey, let's get the subs up. How about that?
they do this with no other group. How many times have you seen a Mexican and a Chinese in a commercial as a couple?
Never.
How many times have you seen an Arab and a Native American as a couple?
I've never seen it.
Right?
Right.
You don't see it. It's only Black and non-Black and mostly Black and white. They're using our self-hate to kill us off numerically. And if we don't stop, good brother, we're going to go down in history as the only people in world history to exterminate themselves.
Wow. So is that all of this? Is that your motivation behind Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy? Is that your
Now they're about to lead into the FDMG part here in just a second, y'all. Just keep up.
Not the bunny hopping per se.
What?
And the reason I say that, if you teach our children who they are, to love themselves, and to be the best that they can, and being proud to be African, you're not going to bunny hop anyway. You see what I'm saying? So when people bring up, are you opening your school and are you going to teach them to be against this or to be against that? I don't have to.
Right.
If I teach them to be African, they won't want to be none of that anyway.
Right.
I don't have to teach them to not want to be pretendian or any of these other nonsense movements we came up with because we hate being Black. I don't have to teach them none of that. If I teach them to love who they are, the rest to take care of itself. I don't have to teach them to love and respect the Black woman. If I teach them to love being African, they're going to do it anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's the status on the school?
Okay, y'all. Here we go. Y'all was waiting for this. Wait a minute. Where is my? Excuse me. Where is it? Where is it? I think it's suspicious.
You don't find that suspicious?
I think it's suspicious.
You don't find that suspicious?
Now, this young man here just said, what is the status of the school? Let me rewind it back so we can get the full sentence and let Umar Johnson roll right into it.
The rest to take care of itself. I don't have to teach them to love and respect the Black woman. If I teach them to love being African, they're going to do it anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's the status on the school?
The status on the school right now, good brother, we completed all renovations, which includes the clean out on Frederick Douglass's birthday, February 14th. And so today is the 14th.
The 14th.
So we're 2 months haven't been completed.
Months.
And the reason we don't have our certificate of occupancy is, unfortunately, we have a building inspector who is of Black immigrant descent, who does not care for Dr. Umar at all. And he's trying to delay our final inspection as much as he can with as many excuses as he possibly can. And I've known the whole 7 years that we've owned the school that he did not care for me. And now we're really seeing it. We should have already been inspected. We should have already been approved. So right now I'm consulting with some attorneys to see what our next move should be. I may have to request a meeting with the commissioner of the Land and Use Department that oversees final building inspections and certificates of occupancy. I may have to speak with the mayor because if they're going to allow this gentleman, and it's a shame that I even have to say I'm being opposed by a building inspector of Black immigrant descent, because as a Pan-Africanist, we view everybody as family. All of us are equal. You know, I don't care where you come from. You know, whether you're from Haiti, Puerto Rico, Turks and Caicos, St. Thomas, St. Croix, whether you're from South Africa, Namibia, Uganda, Ethiopia, Nigeria, Canada, South Pacific, Australia, I don't care. We one race.
Right.
That's what Pan-Africanism is all about. So to me, it is not only oxymoronic, it's also very insulting that someone who pushes unity amongst African people globally is actually being opposed by someone who doesn't care for me being a black freedman, opening up a school in the name of the first hero of that person's ancestral homeland.
And that's something that, so I cut hair, right? And
Okay, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Okay, so once again, he's still blaming this black man of immigrant descent, Jamaican, I believe he said was during Bobby Davis' podcast. He's still blaming this man for the reason why 2 months in now, remember on the 15th of February, he said that the school is renovated. He had the dumpsters out there. He was done cleaning and all of that. And he said he's ready to file for the certificate of occupancy. Then I think that following week or the second week, he said that I'm going to file for the certificate of occupancy that Tuesday because there was a holiday that weekend. So he said he's going to file for the certificate of occupancy on the Tuesday. Okay? And we have yet to see there's any progress. Now he's saying that he won't give me a pre-inspection. He won't do this and that and all that kind of stuff. He's still blaming this guy, right? It's about to be today. It's the 21st of April. Okay? We go into the summer. And he's still blaming this man, talking about we might have to get lawyers involved. We might have to march on the city. I might have to somehow talk to the city officials or the mayor in order to get this certificate of occupancy. I don't think Umar Johnson is ready. And some of you in the chat, most of you in the chat, would agree with me. The school is not ready, and he's using this man as an excuse, as a scapegoat, as the reason why the school would not be opened again this year. He even said on the Breakfast Club, if I get the certificate of occupancy this year, I will open it next year in 2027. Okay? So even after he gets the certificate of occupancy, there's still more things that need to be accomplished before he even opens the school. Okay? But let's run this back one more time. Let him get this live so all of y'all can hear it one more time. Okay? One more time.
Allow who is of black immigrant them to love being African, they're going to do it anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's the status on the school?
The status on the school right now, good brother, we completed all renovations, which includes the clean out on Frederick Douglass's birthday, February 14th. And so today is the 14th?
The 14th.
So we're 2 months having
2 months since the 14th or 15th of February, and he's still throwing this man, whoever this building inspector man is, under the bus.
Been completed. And the reason we don't have our certificate of occupancy is, unfortunately, we have a building inspector who is of black immigrant descent, who does not care for Dr. Umar at all. And he's trying to delay our final inspection as much as he can with as many excuses as he possibly can. And I've known the whole 7 years that we've owned the school that he did not care for me.
You know the whole 7 years. So wait a minute. So y'all, let me ask y'all a question here, chat. So you mean to tell me this man, this the same guy he's been dealing with for the entire 7 years, and now he's got a problem with this guy at year 7? I mean, the only reason you got certificate of occupancies in the beginning because you operating outside. Remember those 2 block parties he had? I think he had certificate of occupancies then, or no, maybe he didn't. Maybe those were just permits for like parties and stuff that are outside. I don't think Umar Johnson's never had a certificate of occupancy. He's worked on this school for years. And in year 7, now you want to blame this guy for not getting a certificate of occupancy? Now you want to blame him at year 7 when you claim that you have all this stuff done, even though you only got 1 classroom with desks, okay? Even though the outside of the school is still in complete shambles. 2-tone paint, overgrown bushes, grown up grass, shitty ass freaking gates, okay? The only thing you got is a freaking new set of doors and a mural. That's the only things that you done in this school, and you painted the inside with old ass paint, and you got desks that were left over from the Moyer Academy. And now you want this school, huh? Where is it?
Enemy spotted.
Man, by the way, we only need 1 more subscriber to get to 4,900, y'all. Who in the chat has not subscribed to the channel? Please subscribe to the channel. Again, hit the Cashapp, hit the super chat, join the channel membership. If you are a subscriber of the channel, hit the channel membership, become a member of the union, please. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Let's check the poll. Does Umar Johnson has a positive update You can change your vote now if you haven't done so already, because you heard the word, right? 6% said yes. You still have time to change it because you just heard what it said, right? You still got time to change your vote. 73% said no. 21% said we're still looking for that goddamn S. All right? Let's continue. Fair use to Chop T Podcast.
Now we're really seeing it. We should have already been inspected. We should have already been approved. So right now I'm consulting with some attorneys.
Hold up. Family. Thank you. Whoever that last subscriber was for giving me the 4,900, thank you very much for getting me over that hump. Of course, we are on the road. We are on our way to 5,000 subscribers. Thank you for everyone that is subscribed in the chat, that is subscribed to the channel. Okay, and again, if you're in here and then you're watching and you're in the chat and you're not a subscriber, I would implore you, I would ask you kindly to become a subscriber. And also, if you want to further, donate, be a supporter of the channel, of course, you can join the channel membership. That would also be greatly appreciated. But I thank you all for participating in the chat, for participating in the poll, hitting the like button, and for coming here every week, whether it's an Umar Johnson title or not. Thank y'all for growing me in this live stream game. All right, I've been trying to get my skills up over here. Appreciate all of you, and thank you very much. Let's continue with Chop T and Umar Johnson.
Attorneys to see what our next move should be. I may have to request a meeting with the commissioner of the Land and Use Department that oversees final building inspections and certificates of occupancy. I may have to speak with the mayor because if they're going to allow this gentleman, and it's a shame that I even have to say I'm being opposed by a building inspector of Black immigrant descent, because as a Pan-Africanist, we view everybody as family. All of us are equal. I don't care where you come from. Whether you're from Haiti, Puerto Rico, Turks and Caicos, St. Thomas, St. Croix, whether you're from South Africa, Namibia, Uganda, Ethiopia, Nigeria, Canada, South Pacific, Australia, I don't care. We one race. Right. That's what Pan-Africanism is all about. So to me, it is not only oxymoronic, it's also very insulting that someone who pushes unity amongst African people globally is actually being opposed by someone who doesn't care for me being a Black freedman, opening up a school in the name of the first hero of that person's ancestral homeland.
And that's something so I cut hair, right? And one of the things that my first interaction, because I come from a place where it's just, Black people, and it's a traditional Black American, right? Mm-hmm. One of the things that I realized in coming to Murfreesboro is diverse. It's a college town, university here, MTSU. One of the things that I realized one of the things that I found out that the world is much bigger than I thought.
By the way, Mitchell's Agenda 2576. I see you send a party hand for 20 jewels. I can't bring it up on the screen for some reason, but if you just made a contribution to the channel, I do appreciate that. I can't bring it up right now, but thank you. Oh, and Inaprize Entertainment has come through once again. Let me give you the money counter, sir. Liar. You can see the whole list of inspections online. Name him. Yeah. He still, I just looked him up. Uh-oh. Yeah. Name him. You know what? Yeah, he has yet to name this mystery inspector that keeps giving him problems. All right. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Again, 7 years, and now you want to call this guy for not giving you a certificate of occupancy. I'm sorry, an occupancy of certificate. All right. He has yet to get this guy occupancy of certificate. Shout out to Mary Lawrence. Because now you have the building finally at a state where you can apply for this and you can get it. I don't think so. Let's continue.
A lot of different types of Black Americans, or even, Africans from straight from the motherland. And I would see these people disassociate themselves from us. They would say things like, oh, I'm not Black. I'm Haitian. I'm not Black. I'm this. I was taken aback by that, because a person listening to people like you my whole life, my first time reading the autobiography of Malcolm X was when I was like 11 years old. Somebody who followed these type of people and these are my heroes. I thought we were all together, but I seen this separation.
Go ahead.
And it kind of gave me a little disdain towards our sisters over there in Africa.
Yes.
Why is that? Why is the separation?
First of all, you have to recognize the influence and the impact of the unseen hand.
Right.
You and I cannot call ourselves progressive. Forget even Pan-Africanism. Put that to the side. And I never put it to the side. But
now, by the way, I'm pretty sure, because I watched a good bit of this, I think they're done with the FDMG process. If y'all want to continue with what he's talking about, put a one in the chat. if you want to continue on listening to what Umar Johnson has to say. If not, we can move on in this stream. I actually want to check out Kogo because he had 2 more episodes of the Ifa Tunde school thing, which I want to watch that real quick. But y'all let me know down in the chat. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you want me to continue on with this chat that's going on between Mr. Chop T here and Umar Johnson. Chop by T, I'm sorry. I mean, I give y'all a few minutes. Y'all get in the chat. Let me know what y'all think. You want me to keep going? I can. All right, it's all good. If not, we can keep the conversation flowing. If not, then we can end it right here. Y'all let me know in the chat what y'all think. All right, we keep this going, or do we let this go?
Put it to the side. We cannot call ourselves progressive if we can't step back and recognize that all of us are being used against each other.
Right.
With conditioning that came from the slave master. Whether you was enslaved on African soil called colonialism, or whether you was enslaved in a foreign land called slavery, we are all victims of white supremacy. There is no African on the planet Earth. I don't care if you call yourself Nation of Islam. I don't care if you call yourself a Hebrew Israelite. I don't care if you call yourself a Moor, a Nawapian, a God in Earth, a Baptist, a Methodist, an Episcopalian, a Sunni Muslim, a Orthodox Muslim, a Hanifi Muslim, a Ahmadiyya Muslim. I don't care what you call yourself. If you are of African descent, you are a victim of white supremacy.
Right.
Okay? Up until the 20th century, Britain controlled nearly 25% of all the land in the world and about 40% of all the people in the world. You understand me?
Right.
They were the largest empire of them all. All of us were victims of white supremacy. So when a Nigerian comes to Tennessee acting like he's better than a black freedman, when a Jamaican comes to Wilmington, Delaware and wants to mistreat me and try to delay my building inspection because he don't like me opening up a school in the name of Marcus Garvey, right?
Right.
I got to look beyond that. I don't react. Because first of all, I have great relationships with all my Caribbean African brothers and sisters, right? I love Jamaica. Jamaica love me. This don't change my opinion to Jamaica. It don't change my relationship with Jamaica. This is.
So now you going in on Jamaica. Now you trying to say that I still got a good relationship with Jamaica, even though this one individual is keeping me from opening the school, which you're creating the divide that you talk about that you don't want. If you're a Pan-Africanist and you're trying to get this stuff together, why would you even bring that up? So now you're saying, okay, well, hey, y'all, I don't got nothing against y'all Jamaican people, even though this guy's, for one, why'd you even bring that up that this guy's just Jamaican descent? Because you actually caused a divide by just bringing it up like weeks ago when you was on Bobby David. Why did you even bring that up? You could have just said it's a black man and it should keep me from opening the school because XYZ with, the administration of the city of Wilmington, Delaware. But you added further the fact that he was a Jamaican. And now you're on here, copping pleas to the Jamaican people saying, you know what, I don't got a problem with y'all, even though this one guy is fucking with me. Why would you even bring that up, man? You're creating the drama that you talk about you don't want in the Pan-African community, if you ask me.
Enemy spotted.
Let's continue.
One self-hating Negro who's trying to stop me from opening up a school for black boys. That's it. We cannot generalize to an entire nation, an entire ethnic group, an entire continent, an entire race based on our experience with a few. Absolutely. I have been victim to discriminatory remarks in Africa. As popular as I am, I'm the most popular Pan-Africanist in the world. Absolutely. Maybe second to Ibrahim Traore. I've still felt the discrimination at times. I've had people say insulting things about American Africans on African soil, on Caribbean soil. But because I understand you are a victim of your conditioning, I'm not going to treat you how you.
Yes, he did the same thing. Well, that was that one lady that was, I believe she was the one that was wiping his sweat on. He was cleaning the backboard, right? He went and was talking bad about her, was saying, well, first, again, he mentioned the fact that she was a Haitian American, and then went on to talk bad about her, about how she was pregnant and she was married and I didn't know, and he shouldn't be wiping my forehead. And, hey, I want to talk to the husband, and just talking mad greasy about the lady, man. I was like, why would you do that? You, again, were causing a divide by mentioning her lineage. And then saying hold on, like 2576 just said no disrespect, but right, and of course everything after the but is immediate disrespect. I mean that's insane. Inaprize Entertainment back with a $2 super chat. Let's give him some shine. He says, wipe dude chin, he got juice on his lips glazing. Yes, this man might be, throwing some little extra glaze on Umar Johnson. Yes, he is. Like everybody that interviews Umar Johnson, especially Bob and David, we ain't gonna get to the glaze part. Pause, okay? Yes. Zora disrespected American women in the gym, though. I mean, what she said, if I'm not mistaken, all right, you can correct me in the chat if I'm not mistaken. She was saying that, y'all ladies need to get a hardworking man like, Umar Johnson because, he's helping the babies and the children. And, if you can't do X, Y, Z for your man and blah, blah, blah. She was glazing Umar Johnson, if you ask me. I mean, if you think it's disrespect, all good. I think she was, glazing Umar Johnson. Then when it backfired, then of course she wanted to go on with Tasha K and throw him under the bus. But to be fair, she was married and she was pregnant while she was out there flirting with Umar Johnson and wiping his sweat off his forehead and talking all grand about him and all that kind of stuff. So she definitely had fault in it as well. So if you want to call it disrespect, I wouldn't blame you there, okay? Let's continue.
Treat me.
I get it.
I'm on a mission to liberate African people. I cannot do that being so thin-skinned that if I get disrespected by an African from another place, I'm automatically going to reject every African from every other place. Yeah. And the hypocrisy of it, white people have had their foot on our necks for 4 centuries. We haven't rejected them yet. We still marry their daughters. We still go to their restaurants. We still move in their neighborhoods. We still send our kids to their universities. We still buy all the garbage that they want to sell us. So help me understand. You got disrespected by a dozen black immigrants, Africans from abroad. And because a dozen black immigrants rubbed you the wrong way, you're going to turn your back on an entire race of 2 billion people because of 12. Yeah. Meanwhile, white people still give you their backside to kiss. You haven't shut them down yet.
Come on now.
You see that?
Absolutely.
We have to see the bigger goal. We have to be visionary. I understand as an American African. Black freedman is my status under American law, but I am an African and I am an American African. And I understand that the only way we win is if we win together. It's the only way we win. So I don't care how many black immigrant building inspectors want to sabotage me opening my school. All right, I'm never changing my opinion about my people. I love African people. I don't care what language you speak, what complexion your skin is, what God you worship, what culture you practice. I don't care. We are family. And I know no matter how trifling you might be, at the end of the day, we don't win unless we win together. There was a national security.
Why'd you have to go through all this, Umar Johnson? We already know you're a Pan-Africanist. We already know that we're all part of the black race, no matter what sect of black you come from, right? Whether you're Jamaican or Haitian or African or British or whatever, right? Caribbean or what have you, okay? Or a black freedman, as they call it now, which signifies the black American man or black American individual. So you called out Jamaican Americans basically through exposing this man's heritage, and now you're saying, well, I don't care if you're black or white, whatever, I'm still going to ride with y'all, even though this one guy's holding me back. Well, we already know that, Umar Johnson, but how about you say that also about the black contractors that you've been dunking on since you started this school? Why don't you say that about all the black celebrities that you've talked down on since you started, vocalizing your opinions on social media, right? You don't have to, go through all this stuff and talk about them, do you? But because you still want the support of all these other subgroups of black Americans, now you want to come on here and be like, oh, well, hey, I'm not talking down on y'all. This is just him. This ain't everybody, right? Yeah, sure.
Memorandum. It was a National Security Council memorandum that came out, I believe the year was 1984. It specifically said that the unity of Black America and Black Africa. It didn't say pretendians. It didn't say Moors. It didn't say Hebrews. It didn't say Nation of Islam. It didn't say God and Earth. It didn't say Methodist, Episcopalian, Baptist, Sunni Muslim, Orthodox Muslim, Ahmadiyya Muslim. It didn't say Ifa, Santeria, Palo, Lukumi. It said the unity of Black America and Black Africa is a threat to white global interests. The only thing they fear politically from us is unity, not just within America, but universally.
Yeah, no, I mean, you actually gave me more insight on this because for years I had a Nigerian call me a black cat. There's another word for it. I forget the word, but it was black.
And you should check him. And if he is of that mindset, we cut him off.
Right.
I'm not asking no African to tolerate disrespect from another African. You follow me?
Absolutely.
If an American African, if a freedman gets disrespected from one of our African immigrant brothers and sisters, one of our Caribbean African brothers and sisters, one of our British African brothers and sisters, cut him off.
Right.
Because you are engaging in anti-African propaganda and behavior. Absolutely. That is anti-Pan-Africanist. I'm going to cut you off. There's African immigrants I don't associate with because they're not Pan-Africanist minded. There's black freedmen I don't associate with because they're not Pan-Africanist minded. So I don't take sides in this because I belong to the race. So if you are disrespecting black immigrants, I'm cutting you off. And if black immigrants are disrespecting you, I'm cutting them off.
Absolutely.
So the rules don't change. The only tribe I belong to is the Pan-Africanist tribe. You are either with me or you against me.
100%. 100%. I want to take a step back, Dr. Umar, because I see you, and I was born so my mother, she was born in 1950. She was older when she had me. So I'm 33
That's
now.
powerful.
Yeah, so she was 42 when she had me. And I understand America in a way that some of my peers don't.
Yes, because you have an elder, your mother, who can give you that story, that narrative.
Absolutely. So I understand it in a
Of
way.
when the grass wasn't green.
Absolutely. And it's still not green now.
Yes, sir.
In a lot of ways.
It's not.
So with that being said, I want to ask you, what gave you this revolutionary mindset? What gave you this mindset? Because a lot of people of our age, they don't have that.
Yes, sir. I practice Ifa, the spiritual system of the Yoruba peoples of Nigeria. I have Yoruba blood. I have Igbo blood. Those are your two of the major. Let me not disrespect my Hausa and my Fulani and all the other powerful Nigerian ethnic kingdoms. I don't like to use the word tribe because it's actually a racist word. We were not called tribe. We didn't call each other tribes. We were kingdoms, right? I belong to the Yoruba kingdom, the Igbo kingdom, the Zulu kingdom, right?
Kingdom,
the Kikuyu kingdom. So anyhow, in Ifa, and this is true for most African spiritual systems, in most world spiritual systems, because they all came from African spiritual systems, in heaven before we're born, we negotiate a destiny with the Almighty. Okay. God rubber stamps, metaphorically speaking, your purpose in this incarnation. You've been here before, you'll be here again. I'm pretty certain that
Now, he's telling, I guess he's going on to the spiritual side of Ifa, which I have no idea about Ifa, so if y'all want to talk about that down in the chat, that's fine. But he's saying that, we're reincarnated from another life, and then somehow we negotiate where we're going to be. We come back again, then God rubber stamps it, we come back. I don't know about any of that stuff, okay, y'all? So if you believe that, great. I'm not going to talk down nobody's religion, but... Okay, so yeah.
my work is not by accident or choice. I don't think it's a coincidence that me and Frederick Douglass descend from the same set of foreparents. Isaac.
Here he go. He's still talking about how he's a descendant of Frederick Douglass.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
He's still talking about how he's a descendant of Frederick Douglass. Bro, please stop. It has been debunked several times, and I get it. That's your mentor. That's your idol. Cool. But he was told that he wasn't a descendant of Frederick Douglass, and he's still talking about how he's a third, fourth descendant cousin and all this other kind of stuff. Like, no, bruh.
And Betsy Bailey. Grandma Betsy was enslaved. Grandpa Isaac
Betsy
was free. Okay? Grandma Betsy was born 1774.
One, two,
2
three.
years before the Declaration of Independence.
1, 2, 3.
She raised Frederick and his cousin Steve, who is my 4 times great grandfather.
Steve, 1, 2, 3.
Right? My point is, I'm a descendant of Civil War veterans. I'm a descendant of the first black public school teacher in Denton, Maryland. I'm a descendant of black leadership. It's in my blood. If I look, even on my mother's side, one of my grandfathers was taught by Booker T. Washington. You see, so I was born to do this.
Right.
I was given my name, Ifatunde, in divination. Ifatunde means destiny has returned. Whose destiny? The destiny of my ancestors. I'm here to finish what they started.
Absolutely.
And since I was 9 years old in the 4th grade at the George G. Meade Elementary School at 18th and Oxford Street in North Philly, where we were required to attend Black History class for 4th grade and 5th grade, that opened up the door to my consciousness, that opened up the door to my public speaking, and I've never left.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. I always feel that way. I feel like I was here for a reason. Because my actual story is the doctor thought that my mother was too old to have kids, and
powerful.
and that he thought that I was a Apollo, and they were going to give her a hysterectomy.
Wow. And she said no.
And she said no. And my brother gave his secondary opinion.
Yes.
That's when we went back and we got. So I always felt like I was here for a reason.
Oh, you're definitely here for a reason. When we're born, the trauma of birth, we forget our destiny. We have to re-find it or remember it because it's still there. Your inner self and your higher self still has it. But through your own deep soul searching, right? And your experience and relying on your intuition and your psychic powers, as well as guidance from the priests and the priestesses, right? Within the community, you refine your destiny. Because no matter what you do in this life, if you are not on the path of finding and fulfilling your destiny, you'll never be at peace with yourself, no matter how much money you make or how popular you may be. This is why some of the wealthiest people in the world are alcoholics, drug addicts, some of the biggest depressives, because you're rich, you're famous, you're this, you're that. But that's not the contract you signed with God. You came here to do something completely different, and you got sidetracked by the money or the fame. You got to.
And by the way, in the chat, y'all let me know if y'all still see the poll there, because I think it is. I don't see it no more. Maybe it's maybe it has closed on its own. So y'all let me know if y'all still see the poll. If not, I can make a new one so y'all can keep getting votes in.
Walk your destiny, because tomorrow is not promised, and none of us are leaving here alive.
Absolutely. And I know you. So you said it's through the teachers and knowing them. What are the steps or the ways to get to that and finding your destiny?
For me, it's two ways people do it, right? I came to it by way of an ancestral awakening at the Goree Island slave dungeon in Senegal back in 2005 when I was Minister of Education of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. And I went to the dungeon in Port Libation. This is on July 21st, 22nd, I think it was. It was a new moon and the sun just went into Leo, and I happened to be one. And I got back to my hotel room that night. I never forget it, brother. I called my mother on the phone. I came and sat down on my bed. The sun was still up, and all of a sudden the room started spinning. I'm awake. This is not even a dream. I'm woke. I'm hearing birds and animals and screams and chains. I'm like, it lasted almost the whole night, bro.
Wow.
And then in the middle of that night, I said, this is the ancestors. But I still didn't know it was good or bad. So then in 2011, right, this is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 6 years later, I'm going to Beaufort, South Carolina to speak. And the brother who invited me.
Sorry, y'all. That's a long story about how he got his divination and how he got his name Ifa Tunde and all this kind of stuff. And now he's going down this long road of how he got his name and his. I don't even know what a divination is, but y'all can let me know down in the chat what that is. But yeah, okay. So now he met this guy. He got his divination over here. Then 6 months later, he went over here, and this guy told him basically, "Hey man, this is why you got X, Y, Z."
Says, have you ever heard of the Oyotunji African Village? I said, nah. But my spidey senses is tingling because I'm not even supposed to be coming here for this. And he takes me to the Oyotunji African Village, and I meet Chief Olaitan, who's now an ancestor, and he gave me my first divination, and that's when I got my name on November 19th of 2011. I came back and got my hand of Ifa, and I've been studying Ifa ever since. And I have tremendous respect for the religion of Islam. I was born in it. My father named me after Umar, who was one of the Prophet's most dedicated and loyal compatriots. He was also one of the first Muslim leaders to invade Africa after Muhammad's death. He was a black man, but he invaded Africa nonetheless, which opened up the opportunity for pale Arabs after him to do the same. And of course, they ultimately laid siege to North Africa, right? And so, you know, in beginning to study Ifa, and at that divination, he told me, the Babalabo, Chief Olaitan, rest in peace, he said, those were your ancestors celebrating you. Wow. He said, you did not go to Africa for Marcus Garvey. You thought you went to Africa to Marcus Garvey. Your whole trip was spiritually engineered by your ancestors because they needed you to come back home and find out who you really are.
Come on now. Yeah.
And so I still love Islam. I still love the church because my mother Christian. But nothing compares, for me, nothing compares to Ifa. Nothing compares to African spirituality. You can never force me or get me or motivate, influence, or manipulate me to give this up and go back to the church of the mosque. I still love them, don't get me wrong. But what I found in this, my relationship with my ancestors and a deeper relationship with the Almighty, I never got it in the mosque and the church. And the one thing, for those of us who are conscious, whether you're Pan-Africanist or not, the one thing I really appreciate about African spirituality, it does not ignore your history. It does not ignore your culture. It does not ignore your ancestry. In fact, your ancestors play a major defining role in whether destiny, because you see your family. You were assigned that family and interest. So we the Almighty.
How do you communicate with the ancestors? It's hard for me, even when my family has actually had me ill now, doctor. And I think that how I can get to that is through the ancestors, but I've tried, and it's like almost like a dampener.
It looks like it's at the end. Let's take a quick break here. Y'all let me know if y'all I can't, man, my end too. I think going to on that. Let's raise it up. For real. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully we got. I don't know. I might have to freeze. Let me still know if it's too much.
The experience, no matter how I started, my list of 7. So I had to and say, what did I? Most out their adult lives. What did I do to deserve being abandoned? And what did my mother do? I never sprang, go to church. Oh, she did 7 children. So we were both abandoned. One who raised you and the brother who looked out for a lot of you, right? But I said, you know what? There's purpose in this. Because E5 is purpose. Everything.
Look, we got some problems. It's like we got a problem with the chat. I might have to end the stream because I am. Oh wow, I'm losing. Like I went today. I guess I'm too long. Let me see if I can. Oh wow, it is moving super slow. Okay, I'll get you because I just rebuilt this damn thing. Supposed to be. I'm way behind chat. It froze. The chat froze up. How far down it is? Okay. That's it. So I restart so I can reset it. See how far back I am in the chat. Okay. Whew, man. I like hearing that. Wait. Y'all let me know. Give me a 1 in the chat. Give me how you see me now. Give me a 1 in the chat. I'm at the end of the dog. I lost pretty much body. Give me a 1 in the chat now. Give me 1 in the chat. Because it had dropped significant. Oh boy. Okay, no. Let's see. Can I fast this? Yep. Man, I'm at the end. Okay, well, we got chatted. I'm at the end of the stream. I'm sorry, I'm doing it for because right now it's really bad. My internet, so I'm at the end of the stream. If you see that, here you to view the chat. Oh crap! I can't even. Okay. Send it. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. End the stream. I just get another. Okay. Well, I'm at the end of the stream, y'all. I'm sorry. Thank you again for attending another episode of the work. Sorry for the technical difficulty.